SPY candle starting to get a little smaller here now. Q's trying to bounce off that pivot point. Again, short Uber from yesterday. Still holding that, and still holding Etsy short right now. Coin down today again, 3%. Crypto's coming back down after a little bit of a rally yesterday, after getting clobbered on Monday. Apple getting close to support at 214.17. Around 214 for Apple. It's very close to support right now. Hyatt hotels, symbol H, really getting kind of clubbed here. Very, very good short setup on Hilton. The daily chart, very bearish. Very bearish on Hilton as it breaks down here. Red across the board in Hilton. A lot of decent short setups. I'm not going to jump on anything right now, except I got Etsy. I don't want to put a lot of positions on. In case we get a relief rally, I don't want to be trapped in a bunch of puts. SPY just kind of moving sideways now, just compressing. When I decide on the sell price for Etsy, please write it down. Since you're intermittently away from my desk, okay, I will. Yeah, we're not going to sell it. I'll put what a price. I'm planning on holding it a little bit, Harry. I really like I like the daily setup on this thing. I mean, you could scalp it off today and just take what you can, but I do like the setup on Etsy. Next support in Etsy around 41.25 or so. That's way out. That's way back in April of 2020. So it's a long way to that support level. SPY trying to reverse a little bit here. Triple Qs also bounced right off the pivot point. IWM down below the pivot point. Pretty weak market, fairly compressed here right now, just compressing. Again, I'm in Uber from yesterday, still short Uber, and I'm still short Etsy from just a few minutes ago, a little while ago. I did take Apple this morning short, still like it short, but we're getting a little bounce right here. So again, I don't want to get, like I said, I don't want to get loaded up in a lot of puts and risk any kind of a relief rally in this market. And the SPY not really stacking any greens here. We got two here, but we'll see what happens here again. Trying to get back up to the 15, but watching Alice and watching MDB kind of just drifting around at 192, but it's pulled back a little bit at least. Uber bouncing a little bit, right at 70.13, which is that exact same level that we want it to stay below. Etsy's just moving sideways. Again, I got Etsy and I got Uber from yesterday, Etsy from today. Took Apple this morning and took profits in that already. We took profits. You know, that's it. And Timus, we're going to have to. You can get out of it for whatever you can get for it. You're not going to get much for it at all. Really get clobbered here with the other communication stocks today. But Uber trying to bounce now, so most likely the SPY is trying to bounce as well. Yeah, So this again, we got a bounce coming up here. It's not going to get me out of my shorts right now. I'm going to stay in Uber. I'm going to stay in Etsy. Again, I did trade Apple earlier for a profit on a short. It's also bouncing. Most of the stocks are going to bounce a little bit with the market now. Nvidia trying to come up pretty flat after that gap up this morning in Nvidia. FedEx is a decent short setup, but again, all the markets reversing a little bit right now to the upside. So we'll just see where that goes. Quite a bit of resistance above. How you doing, Allison?
Good. I just I had to disinfect my AirPods.
Oh.
So I took the guest room in the car also, so the stuff that was there. I took the two or three out of the car. So
As soon as you're on the bed, he's right there.
I know. I wasn't even sitting on the bed. I was standing near the bed. And I sat here so he couldn't sense anything. I was waiting because I have to wait for 2 minutes for the spray that I use to scrub it. Because I don't even want to walk like right away. It's hot. I'm tired. I don't want to get. It's only gonna get hotter. Right now it feels like 73. God, sucks.
Hey, look at you. Look at you.
No.
Oh, good boy. Oh, good. Come here, keep Allison wet.
Yeah.
That's my job.
She needs some more solid food.
That's my job. Keep Allison
Get
wet.
me some solids, man.
Give her some good ones today. Give her some good ones.
What time is solid at? 4?
She's about to go with a customer right now. I know.
I sent a cartoon of her.
I saw it.
Picture
Home
the dog on
stretch.
the wall.
Yeah.
No, the picture.
Yeah, I saw the
The
picture.
cartoon.
She looks pretty nice. You don't know her friend. You don't even know her friend yet.
He doesn't. It's not like hopefully he doesn't have like a heart attack.
No.
We don't know.
You would know. Oh.
Measured it. I took the seats down.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like 1 inch.
Oh, really? 1 inch?
Yes.
Just chop a little of it off.
Because it's pretty light.
Is it?
Yeah. That's right, Alf. We're going on a walk soon. Get ready. This life of leisure won't last. You're gonna give me some solids or else.
He said, I'm gonna give you some shit.
Alright. Can't rely on Alfie for solids.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right.
Ray, good morning. How can you tell when this correction is over? Well, it's hard to see. You don't know when you really don't know until after it's done. But you've got The correction is over when the market gets back into a bullish trend, which means we got to get back up over at least the 200-day moving average on the SPY, at least, and probably even higher than that, because if it goes up to the 200, it'll look pretty good getting up to the 200, but it could easily reverse back down again. So it's very difficult to know when it's over, and it may get deeper than this. You know, you've got we'll see what the first quarter GDP is. Again, we've got some estimates of it going to be negative for the first quarter, so that would be a little concerning. That perhaps we're going to slip into a recession, but we'll see. But yeah, we're in a correction right now in the market. We've corrected well more than 10%. So, but you don't know. You know, no one day is going to tell you that it's over. You can get a capitulation low, which would be an indication that it may be over. But again, it could just be. These can always be just relief rallies. But right now, I'm not thinking about the correction being over. I think we're going to get bounces, and you can get some pretty strong bounces in bear markets and in corrections. It can bounce pretty viciously, but I would get it's got to get at least above the 200-day moving average before you would be considering that we can start going long again. Take a look at DVA, Roger. DaVita, yeah, pretty weak, very weak. It's you can see where I've got some support levels drawn on this thing down here. Kept pulled up to the 200 and rolling over again. This is where it's at right there. There's a support level here that I haven't drawn yet, but that's a support level right there. And then the one below that. So there's where your support is on that. 138.94. About $2 to the downside. Right hit here. Then you got another one down below there. But you do have some support here, so that would be. It's got to clear there. Unless you're just trying to take a quick trade on it to get it down to that support level. Joe, bear market is 20%, or no, it's not that. It's not 20. It's not a bear market yet. It's still in a correction phase. The Qs were pretty close. Qs were over 15% the other day. I mean, these terms about technicals for corrections, bear markets. They're just technical terms. You just have to watch price action over time to determine. If you're trying to determine if the market's going to keep going down, right now you've got to make an assumption that we're going to keep going down until we get something to convince us otherwise. Now you're going to have you could have big days in there, big positive days, but you're still coming down. I mean, if you look at the SPY as an example here, again, we've been talking about this for a long time since it was crap, right? Starting right from here, up and down, up and down. Again, trap the shorts, trap the longs, trap the shorts, trap the longs, and now this is we're cascading down here. This is definitely gone into a correction. We're down more than 10%, and we're down below the 200-day moving average. But you notice within this big drop that we've had, look at this day here. Look at this day here. Look at this day here. These are the kind of snapbacks rallies you can get, and it makes people think that's it, that we're it's over, but it's obviously not. So we could get a snapback here anytime, which is why you've got to be kind of prudent on your short positions and take profits if you can. Don't have too many on, because the snapback rallies can be pretty vicious, and if you run options on a snapback rally, you're not only losing value on the premium, you're also getting time decay ripped away. Joe thinks the 100 will be tested on the Qs, the 100 SMA. Yeah, that's a long way up. Ooh, we're right up to the VWAP. I don't make market predictions. It's the market's bearish right now, so I'm trying to trade to the short side on most of my intraday stuff. But what's the market going to be and where it's going to be in a week? Who knows? You get the Fed coming out next week. I mean, are the conditions weak enough now? Is inflation pulled back enough that they can go ahead and cut again? The anticipation is they won't, but I don't expect them to. But they may indicate that they're gonna cut again at the next meeting. We'll see. That would be fairly bullish for the market. Oh, you're looking at the weekly, Joe. Okay, that makes sense. This is what Joe's talking about on the quick cues on the. This is a weekly chart. I don't usually use a weekly chart, but he's talking about testing the 100. You see where that is? That is a big drop. Down to the 100, we'll be in a bear market. Yeah, Joe. The 8 looking for the not feeling bullish. So the 8 EMA is recovered on the SPY daily. Yeah, for sure. That's even below the 200 right now. So again, I would think a run up to the 200. I would be expecting probably will bounce back off of it back down again, but we'll see. William, you took a trade on the Qs as opposed to move through the 15 right here. Yeah, it took 50 cents. It feels like $5. Yeah, it's a tight trade. I mean, you get the setup for sure, but you got this VWAP sitting right there. Trader Midas, what price point are you targeting for the Uber short? Well, it's, my next support level on Uber, first of all, I wanted to see it get back down below 70.13 on Uber. So it went through it this morning, come back up again. Well, I'm looking for about 67.80. If it gets down close to around $68, $68.50, something like that, I'll take profits on it. Ding, 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 ding. Oh.
Yep, that's how I feel. Ugh. I found this under the sink. It's kind of the color of the method.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would she move? Why?
I don't have any idea.
It smells.
I know you keep asking me, but I don't know.
It's the new discovery.
It's the World Traveler.
Mommy.
Boomer, back in the USA.
With news headlines and the news desk. Yeah, Klaus, first to demonstrate quantum
You're
supremacy
not in
as a
Vietnam
real-world
anymore.
problem.
How are you doing? How are you doing? It's a long flight. I was watching. I went to bed. I was watching it all, the flight, and then I get up this morning and I'm looking at it's still flying. I said, Jesus Christ. Yeah, but you get into Boston the same time it doesn't. Weird.
What is that? What was it?
Yeah, you gotta go through customs. At least you had a long enough layover there so you didn't feel like running. Yeah, legal more. Yeah. Carefully. It's a big airport. That Terminal E used to be Eastern Airlines, I think. Yeah. Well, I'm happy you're almost home, I'll tell you that. That's a long time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Beautiful day down here.
Hot.
Middle of Allison's. You can tell it's a beautiful day because Allison said, it's too hot.
It is. She's gonna come back to hot weather.
It's too hot. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she'll be leaving about 1. Yeah, well, she got appointments, so she's fighting. They're all changing and moving her time around and everything. So.
I'll wait.
Wait, you know. Makes it any different, yeah. That's good. I figured you must be really tired. Did you? I was looking at the flight last night when I left, and they didn't follow the pattern. There's a dotted line on the map, and you can see where they went a little bit south and went back up again, and North Korea was testing missiles. Yeah.
Oh, but they didn't tell you that over the
Yeah.
loudspeaker. They didn't tell you that over the
They didn't tell you
loudspeaker.
that in the plane. But I looked at it and I said, where the hell are they going? They're going south here. Exciting. After the fact, yeah. That's exactly right. Yep, so that's good. I'm happy you'll be home very soon. You'll be able to get into your own bed.
Which is only semi-soiled.
What? No. You probably, it's going to take a while to recover. Well, I need something. This place half empty. She loves you.
Hey Mom, hey, can you ask her if the Office cleaner is in a Windex bottle under the sink?
She's looking. Yeah, tell her, ask her.
Why would you hire the Office cleaner? The all-purpose cleaner. In a bottle that says Windex is what I'm guessing. There is no method bottle under the sink. Well, what do you use for all-purpose kitchen sink? Okay. It was all way in the back, so. I'm just wiping down. I think you'll appreciate it. Yes, I think. Yes, definitely. Dave's itching, literally itching for you to come back. He's scratching his hand right now. Can't wait to see you. Yeah, he is actually practicing knuckles. Yeah, you know him so well. Yeah, can't wait to see you.
I'm gonna slap Hassel across the face too.
Whatever. I'm about to take Alfie out. Do you want to take him instead?
No.
All right. All right, love you, Mom. All right, bye-bye.
All right, safe flight. All right, coming back. Allison, they were going through customs, and they had it's dogs there sniffing for guns and weapons and stuff and
Yeah.
drugs. They also have an agricultural dog, and Ruth and Ann both had bananas in their suitcases. They forgot about, so the dog jumped on the suitcase and opened up and take it out.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
And I guess when they brought the banana out, the dog was standing there looking up for the person he's supposed to get his treat.
Smuggling bananas.
Yep.
Did they get to keep them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alfie, what are you looking at?
All right.
The QBDS now open for quote. QBDS.
All right. Sorry for that interruption. Just talking to my wife, who's been gone for a month. She's coming back today from Vietnam. So looking forward to that.
Trump says we are going to do reciprocal tariffs. Commentary by Trump once again says we are going to do reciprocal tariffs.
Uber bouncing up here. Trading up to 70.67. Still below the 8, just above right below the 50 right now. And Etsy probably bouncing. Everything's probably bouncing. Etsy not much though. Market trying to recover here a little bit, right up to the VWAP. Again, this is not unusual. Trump says they're going to do a reciprocal tariff, so we'll see how long this lasts. Again, I don't want, like I said, I don't want to be in an awful lot of positions. I want to just have a couple of manageable positions that I can trade and not be having an awful lot of risk on, which I do not. I'm watching Uber and watching Etsy, both bouncing, of course, with the market here. Uber has gotten above the VWAP. Etsy has not. Etsy's still pretty weak. Uber's been fairly volatile here last 2 days, but still bearish. What do I think about KHC short? I saw that this morning. Kraft Heinz. The thing is with it, you want to always put up your daily charts on these things and have your moving averages so you know where it's at. You see where it went right to here this morning? You see the 50, which is right here, the red line, and you see the horizontal support line right there? You see where that stock went to? Almost right to it. Almost right to it. 29.98, low 30.03. 4 cents or 5 cents away. So I wouldn't take the short unless it broke below there. Then you have some room down to 29.16. Okay. Again, those horizontal lines don't always work. I mean, it could break right through those, but they do work an awful lot. So to me, they're an excellent method to use for finding support and resistance levels. And do I trust this market bounce? Not in the least. JJ mentioning lots of relative weakness. A little late getting to the message here, JJ. Just talking to Ruth. Estee Lauder and Target. Yeah, really weak. Target too. Home Depot's weak. Lowe's is weak. All the retail stores are weak. Walmart's weak. Walmart's actually a pretty good short setup. So is Estee Lauder. So is a lot of good short setups on these retail stores. Not much bounce in them either right now. Walmart basically no bounce. So as JJ was pointing out, these stocks have relative weakness as the market moves up. Because the market, as you can know, has been moving up strongly, and these stocks have got good relative weakness. Here's some more that do right here. Gap, very good relative weakness in Gap, another store, another retail store. Etsy still moving down as the market moves up. And that's why, relative strength and relative weakness is really important, because I mean, if you look at like the SC chart on the daily, on the 5-minute chart on my TC2000, where I have the SPY plotted, right? So here's the SPY right here. You can see that gapped up this morning. We've been pulling down steadily. Now we're getting a big rally, we got a big rally in the SPY here. But you see what Etsy did? Sideways at best, and now it's pulling back down again with the market. And Uber bounced with the market. You see how it's showing some. I wouldn't call it relative strength. I would just say it's moving with the market, but coming right back down through the VWAP again. So that's how you look for relative weakness. See Estee Lauder. See that, as JJ pointed out, relative weakness. Target relative weakness. Again, you can see market moving up, these stocks moving sideways or down. That's what I mean when I say finding relative strength, relative weakness. It's a big help, and if you choose a stock, that you choose one that has relative weakness for a short, relative strength for a long. Or 12 o'clock. Those lines that I'm talking about, I draw, Isaac. Those are not SMAs or EMAs. Those are horizontal lines. All right. So they're not dependent on anything to do with moving averages. All right. These are lines. Oops. Right here. These lines are just connect bottoms and tops of candles that have a high volume, which means that most likely there is institutions doing that. But you see how that came to that? And if I go back here and I look at these lines, right, these volumes, okay. If you look at these volume lines, this one is one right here that I drew. Right, if you go back, a lot of times you'll see them hit bottoms in other places as well. Like this one here that we got another one down here. You see it pretty much hit the top of that one, hit the top of that one, hit the top of that one. Again, I don't pay any attention to these gray areas, but these are not SMAs or EMAs. They're just connecting candlesticks that have higher than normal volume. And I'm using, in this particular one, I'm using 120% of normal volume. All right, so that's what you look for on these prices. So that's how I find those. I mean, I have to draw them by hand, so it's you know, it's kind of tedious to do it, but it's not that I can do it pretty quickly now. SPY moving up above the VWAP now. Qs as well. SPY back to green again. Pretty nice little bounce in the market. MDB bounced up a little bit, but pulling back. And Uber bounced up above the VWAP. And see if it comes back down again. And Etsy has been maintaining some relative weakness here in Etsy. SPY still fighting through the VWAP here. Everything right around the VWAP now. About 5 past 12. Everybody eat lunch about 12:15, 12:20 or so. Take a break at that. Right now, again, I've got Uber from yesterday, which has bounced up fairly substantially, and I have Etsy from this morning, which is a very nice week, very weak. Again, the retail stocks are really weak. There's Gap moving down, Estee Lauder that was pointed out by JJ, and Target also relatively weak to the market. Again, Walmart weak. I'm watching FedEx for a potential short, but it's bounced pretty good. So we'll see where we go. Again, if you're going to try to go long today, make sure you're just doing your intraday trades. I would not hold any longs overnight. And for MDB, still trading around 193. Need to move in that. I've got a couple days on that one right now. I'm going to start looking for some straddles and strangles again here.
Members Trump commentary continuing. Says the EU was set up in order to take advantage of the US.
Trump's still talking, so we don't know what he might say here. It's an Etsy. Trading at 44.82. Again, I got support way down at 41.28. I'm gonna continue to watch and see what the. I mean, I'll grab some profits on that if it gets to the point where I feel like I want to take it. It's trading at 350 right now. Again, I get in at 337. It's just trading at 350. Not a big moving stock, so. Likely I'll try to take it off around 375 to 390 or so on Etsy. I'm going to put a sell order in at 390 just to have one working. $390 on Etsy for a sell order. Uber's bounced up pretty strong, actually. Pretty big bounce. It did this yesterday as well. And it gapped up this morning, pulled back hard. It's been pretty volatile. It's sitting right on the 50-day moving average right now. Still bearish. I still moving up above the VWAP here.
I don't have to go to the office.
What?
I don't have to go to the office.
You don't?
Nope.
Okay. Everybody canceling?
Well, no, I'm just gonna do a phone call.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Back good.
That's the good news. You gotta take little Alfie now. I guess you're getting ready to take for him for a walk. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be here when your mom comes home.
I don't know.
Depends.
Haven't decided yet. I'm tired.
Thad? Oh, I'm gonna have some lunch here in a minute. Got all the cleaners out.
Yep. Yeah, so that's his Windex.
Huh?
Crazy old mom. Okay. Okay. Just had my water. There it is. Oh, Alfie.
Yeah, he's gonna come running out. Okay.
Alfie.
Alfie, wanna go for a walk?
Walkies.
See Allison? Come on, Alfie. Come on, buddy. Come on, go see Allison. Go see Allison. Oh, she's the other way.
Yep. Oh.
He immediately goes to your bedroom.
Oh, ow.
There he is.
Where? Come here, baby. Come here.
Gonna go for a walk.
Come here. Teddy bear Solids only.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Look at him.
Assuming the position.
Yeah.
We can get so excited today. Little surprise.
An early walk.
He's not gonna come near me after mom.
Oh, he's
He's just gonna, hopefully it's not, he doesn't have a little cardiac event. Oh, dang it. Got my earbuds. My friend Steve was in the hospital. Oh.
Really?
My friend Steve in Georgia told me to call him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the hospital.
Well, he was in the hospital. He's discharged.
Oh.
But he's not in great shape, so I need to call him.
Oh.
So I'm gonna do that.
What's the matter?
Trying to find, I can't remember what it was, but it was like, they weren't sure at first, but I don't know, maybe like as a complication from pneumonia.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Dude, I know. I gotta visit him. Cause like, I don't know how much longer he's got left.
Really?
Yeah. He's in rough shape.
Good Lord.
Well, he's the old one. I mean, he's no spring chicken.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, you're gonna go for a walk. That's what you're gonna do. This is gonna take you up there. In the wild unknown. The great beyond. Where's that good boy? Who's a good boy? empty treat bags everywhere. Yeah, empty treat bags.
Alright. Okay. Prepare the bags.
Oh, you're going for a walk. You're going for a walk. With Allison. As soon as she gets done texting.
I'm just confirming.
Appointment.
Mm-hmm.
What time?
I'm gonna see the one that usually comes from 2 to 3:30 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who's going through that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna see him after the kid at 6:30.
Tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus.
Virtual.
Oh, virtual. But you have to go to the office for the kid?
Yeah.
Oh, you do everything.
Well, that's why I said, I was like, okay, yeah, no, just do the phone call with the kid.
Yeah, that's good.
Cause I'm just like, dude, no. 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 And also, if he, he just needs to get his shit together, and figure out when his stuff is. Cause it's not on me, dang it.
What was Allison? Go in the other direction, Alfie.
Just can't keep my head straight. What?
Alfie doesn't understand why that's his problem.
All I'm making your problem, buddy. Okay. Oh, God, I'm so glad I don't have to worry about this.
Yeah, that saves you a little aggravation.
A lot of aggravation.
All right, have a good time.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful day out there.
It is. It is. Alright, Alfie, this time it's for real. Come on.
Market's still moving up here. I'm getting ready to have something to eat as the SPY grinds up through the VWAP. It's a pretty nice bounce here. Look at the green candles, right up through the 15, right up through the VWAP. So pretty good buying pressure right here. Momentum's gone to very, very strong green, and triple Qs also coming up pretty nicely. So some buying coming in down here right now after that pullback. IWM not so strong. And again, Uber bounced up pretty hard, still bouncing. We'll see where it goes. I'm not going to cut it. It's right at the 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average at Uber is 70.99, basically 71, which is where it is exactly right now. So it's right in the 50-day moving average. And Etsy is actually working pretty well here. In this strong market, Etsy's got really good relative weakness. Big pop on gold, Ali. Yeah, precious metals are up this morning. Gold is up half a percent. Nothing big, but not bad. Dimitri, NLY Strangle, 2120. It's only got an ATR of about 45 cents. So that's a cheap one. You got it for 39. Oh, 21. Yeah, that's not bad. On a stock like you got to remember, you got to try to get them so that you got a 2120. I don't know where you took it at, when it was probably $20.50. Didn't get down that low. Yeah, I mean it's not not a big moving stock. You got to make sure that you can the stock price get into the money on those things, but. All right, I'm going to take some lunch here in a minute. I'll go ahead and shut down YouTube in just a minute. Thanks everybody for watching on YouTube today, and Just watching them, Etsy, which has got good relative strength. Uber has regained some power here, moving up pretty strongly. I'm not going to touch it till I've got it short. I'm going to hold it short. We'll see where it goes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the transmission on